Hello friends, welcome to my channel Learning Electronics. In this video, we are going to study the block diagram representation as well as rules for block diagram reduction techniques for the control system. So before starting the video, please subscribe my channel and also press the bell icon so that you can get more updated videos from here. So let us start the video. Block diagram representation of control system is the pictorial representation of the control system. Through block diagram representation of control system, we can derive the transfer function of the control system. So for complex control system, it is not convenient to use the time domain analysis. So we derive the transfer function in the S domain. So the transfer function of the control system is represented by GS, which is equal to Laplace transform of output signal divided by Laplace transform of input signal. So this is the block diagram representation of the open loop control system where the transfer function is represented in a rectangular box and RS is applied in the left hand side, which is the input signal, and the output signal CS is applied in the right hand side. RS is called as excitation and output signal CS is called as response. So this is the example of open loop control system where there is no feedback is connected between input and output. That type of system is called as open loop control system. Next one is closed loop control system. Here the feedback is applied to the input and the output CS is directly applied to the input and added with the input signal RS with the help of summing point. This is the summing point which is used to add the inputs coming into the system. So here the RS is added since here plus sign is indicating, and the CS will be subtracted from RS because here negative sign is indicating, minus sign is there. So RS minus CS will be equal to ES. ES is called as the actuating signal or error signal. So ES will be equal to RS minus CS here. Here the feedback CS, output CS is directly applied to the input as CS. So the feedback path gain, which is represented by HS, feedback path transfer function or feedback path gain will be equal to 1 here. This is the example of closed loop system. Now another closed loop system with feedback path transfer function or feedback path gain is HS here. So this is a type of control system where the feedback is applied from the output signal to input. Now let us see the rules for reduction of the block diagram. First rule is for open loop control system. Here RS is applied to the transfer function GS block. So CS will be equal to input signal multiplied by transfer function GS. So CS is equal to RS into GS. So from this equation we will get the transfer function GS is equal to CS by RS. Second is takeoff point. The takeoff point takes off the signal which coming into the takeoff point to the two or more systems connected to it. So for example here the input signal is applied at this takeoff point A. So this takeoff point is applying the RS signal to system block G1 and system block G2 equally. That means this RS will be applied here also. The input to G1S is also RS and the input to G2S also is RS. So this is the use of the takeoff point. And third one is summing point. So whenever two or more inputs are entering into the system, so we use summing point for adding those inputs. So here you can see the RS is added to the summing point, because plus sign is there, xs is added plus sign, and ys is subtracted with negative sign here. So the output signal cs will be equal to rs plus xs minus ys. Next is blocks in cascade. So whenever the blocks are connected in this fashion that the output of one block is the input to another block, then they are said to be in cascade. So here we can see that the output of G1S is C1S, which is input to the G2S, and the output of G2S is C2S, which is input to G3S. That means these blocks are in cascade. So when the blocks are in cascade, the overall transfer function Cs by Rs is equal to G1S G2S into G3S. So whenever the blocks are in cascade, the overall transfer function will be the multiplication of the individual transfer function. So from this diagram also we can find that. So here G1 is equal to C1 divided by R. This is equation number 1. G2 is equal to C2 divided by the input to G2 is C1. This is equation number 2. Now G3 is equal to C by C2. So when we multiply these three equations, so what we get, G1 into G2 into G3 is equal to C by R we will get. So whenever the blocks are in cascade, the overall transfer function will be the multiplication of the individual transfer functions. Now next is blocks in parallel. When the blocks are connected in this fashion that the input signal Rs is equally applied to all the blocks. That is, here also input to G1S is Rs, for G2S the input is Rs, and for G3S also the input is Rs. So if we take the output of G1 as C1, G2 as C2 and G3 as C3. So the total CS will be equal to C1 plus C2 plus C3 here. So when we find out C1, C2, C3, we get RS into G1 plus RS into G2 plus RS into G3, which is equal to CS. So when we solve this equation by taking out RS common, so we get CS by RS is equal to G1S plus G2S plus G3S. So whenever the blocks are in parallel, then the overall transfer function will be equal to the summation of individual transfer functions. Next is interchanging of consecutive summing points. So when summing points are connected side by side like this, so the interchanging will not affect the output signal. So here we can see that this is first summing point, this is second summing point. At first summing point, Rs plus Xs is coming out and it is added to second summing point with Ys, which is negative. So Cs will be equal to Rs plus Xs minus Ys. Now this output will not change if we interchange the summing points. So this is, we have interchanged the summing points. This is second one and this is first one. So now the output CS is equal to RS minus YS plus XS. So whenever we interchange the consecutive summing points, the output signal will not change. Next is shifting the takeoff point before a block. So this is the takeoff point. The takeoff point here, the output signal is RS only. So when we shift this takeoff point before the block at point B, so the branch output RS should not change. So when we shift like this, so here we can see that here the at B point the output will be RS into GS. So if we multiply it with, if we divide it with GS, then the output again is equal to RS. So whenever the takeoff point is shifted before the block, then one block of 1 upon GS is added in the branch of RS. Now next is shifting the takeoff point behind the block. So whenever we shift the takeoff point behind the block at position A, so the output CS should not change. Here the CS is equal to RS into GS. So one block of GS will be added in this branch so that the output CS should not be changed. So here the CS will be RS into GS. So now whenever we shift the takeoff point behind the block, so one block of GS is added in the branch. Next is shifting a summing point before a block. So this is the summing point. When we shift this summing point before the block GS, the output should not change. So here the output is RS plus minus XS whole multiplied by GS. Now we multiply this GS into the bracket. So we get CS is equal to GSRS plus minus GS into XS. So here also after shifting the summing point before a block, we are getting the same output, RS into GS plus minus XS into GS. So whenever we shift the summing point before a block at position B, then one block of GS will be added in the XS branch. Shifting a summing point, next is shifting a summing point behind the block. So this is the summing point which we have to shift behind the block GS at position A. So the output CS should not change. CS is equal to GS into RS plus minus XS. So when we take common GS from this equation, we get CS is equal to GS whole multiplied by RS plus minus XS by GS. So this is the output which we have to get when we shift this summing point behind this block GS. So we have shifted. Now what we are getting, CS is equal to RS plus minus XS by GS whole multiplied by GS. So the output is not changing. So whenever we shift the summing point behind the block, so one block of 1 upon GS will be added in the branch of XS. Next one is shifting a takeoff point before a summing point. So we shift this takeoff point at A at the position B before the summing point. So this value of this branch RS should not change. The RS should come as RS only. So when we shift the takeoff point before the summing point here, so we add one summing point, extra summing point here, where minus plus XS is added to the summing point, as you can see in the diagram. So here you can see that the output of this summing point is RS plus minus XS. Here we are getting RS plus minus XS, and this will go into this second summing point, and here minus plus XS will be added. So this XS and this XS will cancel out and we get RS here. So the output of this branch is not changing when we are shifting the takeoff point before the summing point. So whenever we shift the takeoff point before the summing point, a summing point is added in the branch with XS of opposite polarity. Next is shifting a takeoff point behind the summing point. So we have to shift the takeoff point behind this summing point at position A. So the output CS should not change. CS should be equal to RS plus minus XS. So when we shift like this, so we add one summing point here with polarity plus minus XS. So here we can see the output is RS plus minus XS only. That means the output signal is not changing if we shift the takeoff point behind the summing point. So whenever we shift the takeoff point behind the summing point, then one extra summing point is added of same type. Next is eliminating a summing point in the closed loop system. So this is a closed loop system with feedback and feedback by transfer function Hs. So here the BS signal is the feedback signal. Here the ES signal is the error signal or actuating signal. So from here we can write the equation that ES is equal to RS plus minus BS. Now what is BS? This BS is the output of this HS. So here the CS is coming as input to this HS. So BS will be equal to CS into HS here. So we put the value of BS in this equation. We get ES is equal to RS plus minus CS into HS. Now ES is multiplied with GS, which is equal to CS. So again CS is equal to ES into GS. So we put the value of ES in this equation. So we get this type of equation. The overall transfer function of this closed loop control system will be CS by RS is equal to GS divided by 1 minus plus GS HS. So whenever we add this HS in the summing point, then in this equation CS by RS is equal to GS by 1 minus GS into HS will come. And whenever we subtract this HS at the summing point, then CS by RS is equal to GS divided by 1 plus GS into HS will come. So this is the equation for this type of system, closed loop system. Next is when two or more inputs are acting, then the total output will be addition of the individual effect of those inputs. That means here in this system, two inputs are acting at this summing point. For this system, two inputs are acting. So R1S is there and R2S is there. So the output signal, total output signal CS will be the summation of the individual outputs of this inputs. That means when R1 is acting, at that time we take R2 is equal to 0 and the output will be C1S. And when R2 is acting, then at that time we take R1 is equal to 0 and the output will be C2S at that time. So the total output of the system will be the summation of this individual outputs, that is CS is equal to C1S plus C2S. So based on it we are going to solve some numericals also in the next classes. So let us see the terminology which we have used in the block diagram representation. RS is the reference input signal or excitation. CS is the output signal or response. ES is the error signal or actuating signal. BS is the feedback signal. GS is the forward path transfer function. HS is the feedback path transfer function. GS into HS is the open loop transfer function. And MS is the overall closed loop transfer function of the system. It is also called as control ratio of the system. So friends, you have understood the topic, hope that. So thank you very much for watching and please do subscribe my channel for more updates.